Needs a shoulder to cry on.
Hi friends, welcome back to my kitchen and welcome if you are new. I'm so excited you are here. Today we are starting our Thanksgiving videos in a playlist, Thanksgiving 2023. There's gonna be a ton of videos in this playlist for you guys, and we are doing vegetables today. We're gonna have 4 vegetable recipes for you guys. We're starting off with carrots. That's a classic for Thanksgiving. Everybody does carrots. This was a recipe very similar to the one that my grandmother used to do when I was growing up. The only way she could get me to eat carrots. So let's get in the kitchen and let's make some tasty carrots for Thanksgiving. All right, friends. So this recipe uses full-size carrots, and those are great if you want to. I actually have some baby carrots I need to use up, so that's what I'm gonna do instead of cutting up full-size carrots. And honestly, on Thanksgiving, I don't want to cut carrots. I would much rather have baby carrots. They're small, everybody loves them. They're easy to work with. Makes this recipe super fast so you don't have to peel the carrots, you don't have to cut the carrots, you don't have to do anything. You're just gonna put them on your pan. You're gonna put all of your stuff on it. It's gonna go in the oven. It's gonna be done in like less than 10 or 15 minutes. So let's get these carrots made. All right, friends, so we have our baby carrots. We're gonna go ahead and put down. I am only cooking for my husband and I tonight, so I don't need a full recipe, but he does love these carrots. So I might make a few extra, just to have a few extra to put in his lunch for tomorrow. But I think that right there is gonna be plenty just for us tonight. But if I was doing this for a Thanksgiving meal, if I was making this for a full Thanksgiving meal, I would use this entire bag probably. All right, so we're gonna have a bowl right here. We're gonna put in our ingredients that we need to put in the microwave. It calls for 2 tablespoons of butter, but I'm not doing a full recipe. So I'm just gonna do about a tablespoon. So I'm just gonna take a little bit off of this stick that I had here. We're just gonna put that in our bowl. It calls for 3 tablespoons of honey. We are not making the full recipe, as I said, so we're just gonna put maybe a tablespoon. We're just gonna eyeball it. That looks about right to me. And it calls for a full tablespoon of brown sugar. We're just gonna put a little bit of brown sugar in here. I will leave the full recipe for these carrots in the description box for you guys so that you can try these for Thanksgiving with your family. I am super excited about all the recipes that we have coming out over the next few weeks to get you all ready for Thanksgiving. As you can see, I'm cooking something behind me on the stove. You guys will see that recipe soon. And I also have some dried chives and some dried parsley. It does not call for those. I love chives with carrots. I think it's a classic combination. It's a flavor that pairs really, really well together. So I'm gonna put some chives on these after they come out of the oven. I don't wanna burn my herbs, so I'm gonna give that little bit of green color to these once they come out. I'm just gonna take my tablespoon and stir this together. This is the brown sugar, the butter, and the honey. And it does recommend that you cook these on foil because nobody wants to cook or nobody wants to clean sugar off of their baking pans on Thanksgiving. Not me. So I'm aligning mine with foil to give myself a break. Just gonna take my spoon and hopefully I don't rip my foil. Just give these a quick little toss so everything gets covered in this beautiful brown sugar and honey. Carrots are cold, so the butter's firming up again, but that's fine. All right, these are gonna go in the oven, 375 for about 15 minutes. All right, friends, here are our roasted brown sugar honey carrots. These are gonna be super, super tasty. Stay tuned for recipe number 2. All right, friends, we are back for recipe number 2 in our vegetables videos. So we are making a recipe that my mother-in-law used to make. Also, my grandmother used to make it. It must be like an older type recipe, I think, but it's called scalloped corn. This is a really fun recipe. This can be made earlier in the day with the exception of the topping. Save that for just before it goes into the oven, but let's put this together. All right, friends, so we have a mixing bowl right here. We're gonna go ahead and put in 1 can of whole kernel corn drained. We've got 1 can of cream of corn. We're gonna add that. we need to melt 3 tablespoons of butter. Let's get that melted. We're also going to put in here 2 eggs. One cup of milk. One cup of cheddar cheese, and we're just going to go ahead and shred that right into our bowl. I am one of these people that I try not to dirty up any more dishes than I have to. During the holidays, it's just not my thing. So we're just going to go ahead and drain. We're going to grate this right into our bowl. I was super excited when I found this because I was like, oh, I haven't had that in years. And it's not something that I typically think of. My grandmother did, but all right, so we have 3 tablespoons of butter. We're gonna put that in. We need some fresh cracked black pepper. Put in as much butter as you want to. My hubby would put most of that container in there if I let him. A little bit of salt. And let's whisk this together really quick before we put anything else in here. Our binder, we still need to season it too, but our binder for this is saltine crackers. I think I'm gonna put just a little bit more cheese in here.
Everyone needs a shoulder to cry on.
But that they also can be made a little bit ahead of time to kind of give you a little bit of a break on the holidays so that you're not just in the kitchen all the time. We're gonna put in some of this caramelized onion butter. This recipe calls for onion powder, garlic powder, onion powder and garlic powder. I just love this caramelized onion butter. It's my favorite. I use it in almost everything. We are gonna put in a little bit of garlic. I'm gonna use my Kinder's garlic and herb. Let's put just a little bit of this in here. All right, give this one more good mix, and then we're gonna put in our crackers. All right, so I have one sleeve. I'm gonna use 3/4 of this sleeve for the binder in it, and the other part of the sleeve I'm going to use for the topping. And I am just going to crush these with my hands. As I said, I am not big into doing a ton of dishes over the holiday. It's not my favorite thing to do, so I'm going to be kind to myself and do as little as possible. All right, that looks pretty good right there. Let's give that a quick mix into our corn mixture. All right, this is gonna go into our casserole dish. I love how simple this is. Super, super easy. Okay, let's get this smoothed out. Make sure we've got our cracker distributed all over. For our topping, we need to do 2 tablespoons of butter and melt this. So we're just gonna put this in the microwave. I'm gonna melt that down real quick. We've got the rest of our crackers, and this is what we're using for our topping. We need just a little bit more of our shredded cheddar cheese. It says about a cup. I think that's going to be about good. Give that a quick little toss with our fingers, just kind of mix that cheese and crackers around. All right, we've got our 2 tablespoons of butter. Let's just give it a quick little stir. It's got one little spot right here that didn't melt, but it'll melt. Just gonna use a fork. My husband absolutely loves corn, so he is super excited to eat this tonight. All right. All right, we're just gonna get this scattered all over the top of our corn. This is gonna give us a nice crunchy little topping. This is gonna bake at 375 for about 20 to 25 minutes until our casserole is set up and our cheese is melted and everything is nice and bubbly and our top is golden brown. All right, friends, the third recipe that we're gonna do is, everybody makes green bean casserole. We are making a Parmesan roasted green beans. This recipe is gonna start off with some fresh green beans. And as I said before, I'm only cooking for my husband and I. These look like they need to be trimmed a little bit. You just never know. Let's grab. I'm going to use a little bit of this Kinder's buttery salt. I've heard a lot about this. I have not tried it yet. So let's go ahead and open this and we're going to, oh my gosh, friends, that smells so good. We're going to put this on our beans with our oil. The recipe called for your, like garlic powder, onion powder, those kinds of things. I think, most recipes, those things are a given. They're kind of a suggestion is how I take it. And I pretty much want to put whatever I want on my, I have moods sometimes where I'm like, that just doesn't sound good today, but this does. And so I'm going to do this instead. So we're just going to get these seasoned up really well. Let's give them a toss in the oil and the seasoning. We're going to put these in the oven and we're going to roast these at 375. These are actually going to cook right alongside our corn casserole that we're making, our scalloped corn. And these are going to get finished with Parmesan cheese. All right, friends, here is our scalloped corn. Is that not beautiful? It's a little bit jiggly. It needs to set up for about 10 minutes. And we've got our green beans in the oven. That's our third veggie recipe. Those are going to finish up in just a couple of minutes and then we're going to eat these. These are going to be amazing. All right, friends, I thought I was recording. Apparently I wasn't. So here's our green beans. I just put the Parmesan cheese on them. They're going to go in the oven for another minute or so, just enough to melt this cheese. We're going to finish them with a little bit of chives and they're going to be amazing. All right, friends, look at those. Are those not beautiful? These are going to be so tasty. As I said, you can put these on a really pretty veggie tray or some kind of a platter or something, and they're going to be amazing. We've got some fresh or some freeze-dried chives. Chives and green beans are a very classic combination, so we're just going to sprinkle a little bit on here, just for a little extra flavor. They're going to rehydrate with that cheese while they sit there and just relax for a second while we get the rest of our dinner ready. So, recipe number 4 coming up tomorrow. All right, friends, we are back for another side dish. We are making the ultimate green bean casserole. Let's get it made. All right, friends, we have some mushrooms cooking on the stove. I'm only doing a half a recipe because it's just my husband and I don't need a huge green bean casserole. So we've got 2 cans of green beans. We cooked a little bit of bacon. We're gonna go ahead and mix our bacon in with our green beans. We have 1 can of cream mushroom soup. Again, I'm only doing a half a recipe, so keep that in mind. I will post the recipe in the description box for you guys so that you guys can follow the recipe and make the full batch if you want to, or make the half batch like I am, depending on how many people you are feeding. All right, we are going to put in 1/4 cup of milk. And what I love about this recipe is it has Monterey Jack cheese in it. I mean, how good can that be, friends? So we're gonna put in, it calls for 1.5 cups. We're gonna put in about 3/4 cup in here. And we're going to save the rest of this, and we're gonna put this on top of the casserole. And then we will put our French fried onions on top. So in this bowl, we have 2 cans of green beans, about 6 slices of bacon, chopped and cooked until crispy. We've got our Monterey Jack cheese, our cream of mushroom soup. And the recipe did not call for it, but I'm gonna put a few pimentos in it. I love the red that this gives, and so we're gonna put just a few. Get a spoon. I'm just gonna take out, I'm gonna say maybe a heavy tablespoon, pretty close to that. I just love that red, especially for Christmas or for Thanksgiving, either one. To get that little pop of red in there is perfect. Now you're supposed to put chopped onions. You know, fans, you know me, I am not an onion fan. I'm just gonna use a sprinkling of these dehydrated onions. These are gonna be enough onion flavor for me, and I don't have to chop onions. And that makes me happy. All right, let's go ahead and mix these in. We got our mushrooms ready. We're gonna go ahead and just put these mushrooms right in here. That's what I love about this recipe, is it doesn't just have the cream of mushroom soup, but it also has some fresh mushrooms. It called for button mushrooms. I don't typically buy button mushrooms because there's no flavor. If I'm gonna put something in a recipe, I wanna put something in there that's gonna give some flavor to it. I buy cremini mushrooms, and that's what we put in here, was the creminis. So we're gonna give this a quick stir. And I just lost a big spoonful. Isn't this look beautiful, friends? It's just stunning. All the colors in this is not your typical green bean casserole. All right, I'm gonna grab our casserole dish right here. We're gonna dump this right in. I don't know about you, friends, but I'm excited for Thanksgiving this year. All right, let's get the rest of this soup mix out of here. We don't want to waste any of our ingredients. And stuff is so expensive right now. All right, let's get this smoothed out. Just like that. All right, we're gonna go ahead and put the rest of our cheese down. Get it all spread out. All right, we're gonna cover this with foil. We're gonna bake this at 350 for about 25 minutes. We'll take the foil off, we'll put our French fried onions on, and that'll finish it out, and this is gonna be amazing, friends. All right, friends, here is our ultimate green bean casserole ready for Thanksgiving dinner. I want to thank you guys so much for joining me in my kitchen as we made 4 delicious veggie side dishes to go for your Thanksgiving or your Christmas dinner. I hope you guys will try all of these recipes. If you do, let me know in the comments how you guys like them. If you have a family favorite recipe, share it in the comments with me. I would love to try it. I'm always excited to try new recipes on the holidays. So share those with me. I would love it. And I'm sure everybody else that comments would like to see those recipes as well. I hope you guys have a great holiday season. If you have not yet, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you're notified every time we upload a new video. And you guys have a great day, friends, and God bless.
needs a shoulder